Hey everybody, Grandma D back again. We are here today for another story time video. I am so excited to bring you the last story in our series, Six by Seuss. This has been a wonderful journey while we have read through, and to think I saw it on Mulberry Street and the 500 Hats of Bartholomew Cubbins, Horton Hatches the Egg, Yertle the Turtle, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, my personal favorite, and our final story today, The Lorax. This is a very good story, and I'm sure it will keep you on the edge of your seat, and you'll be so surprised as we walk through this story. As we finish this story today, as I said, this will be the final story in our series, Six by Seuss. And I have a couple of wonderful other books lined up for us next week. One of them that we're going to read is this book, Grandma Elephants in Charge. This is going to be so fun. I love this because at my house, Grandma's in charge. So I thought how fitting to read Grandma Elephant's in Charge. So this will be coming up this week, along with another book that I talked about on a previous video, Love You Forever. This book was recommended by a good friend of mine, Jeremy Dolce. He asked me to look for this book, and I found it while I was on my trip last week. So we will be reading this one this week as well. And I hope that you will join me for those two stories. So if you will subscribe to my channel and like this video and ring the notification bell so that you will be aware when the next story time video comes. Then you'll be able to read with me as we go through those two books. So, without further ado, we are going to get started today and read the Lorax together. At the far end of a town where the grickle grass grows and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. Sounds pretty interesting. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax? And why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Once-ler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. Sounds like a mystery. You won't see the Once-ler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters And sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you perhaps if you're willing to pay. Oh, look at there. There's the shutters. And that looks like his eyes looking through right there. Look at that poor, poor little cactus down there. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail. And you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great, great, great grandfather snail. That sounds pretty crazy to me. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snoove, his secret strange hole in his groovulous glove. Then he grunts, "I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone." Wow. Calls you by whisper my phone. Sloop! Down sloops the whisper my phone to your ear. And the old Once-ler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a snurgly hose, and he sounds as if he's had smallish bees up his nose. "Now I'll tell you," he says with his teeth sounding gray, "how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long, long time back." Look at there. There's a whisper, my phone. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swami swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the trufala trees, the bright-colored tufts on the trufala trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. They look like giant balls of fur on top of those trees. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloos, and frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate trufala fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. There's the humming fish and the barbaloot suits that the bears were wearing. But those trees, those trufala trees, all my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. Have you you ever heard of butterfly milk? I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I just knew what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. Says the Once-lers. In no time at all, I had built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. Whatever that is, huh? Oh boy. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked, I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree that I chopped down. It was a sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister, he said, with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. And he was very upset as he shouted and puffed, What's that thing you've made out of my truffula tuft? Pretty interesting. Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed is a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool Sneed. Looks pretty crazy to me. What do you think? I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called on my brothers and uncles and aunts and I said, Listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Once-ler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Niche. Turn left at Weekwan, sharp right at South Stitch. Uh-oh. What do you think is going to happen? Do you have any ideas? I think I might. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Once-ler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffula trees. Uh-oh, look at all the trees being chopped down. Uh-oh. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffula trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But the next week, He knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you have seemed to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating tufula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough tufula fruits to go round, and my poor babaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies." Uh-oh. The bears are hungry. They don't have anything else to eat. And the Lorax is trying to defend them, right? "They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys," he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Once-ler, felt sad, but as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. What do you think? You think he's being kind of selfish? Maybe. "I meant no harm. I most truly did not. But I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads. Of the sneeds I shipped out, I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs." Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes. Then that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. "I am the Lorax," he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snarled and he sniffed. "Once-ler," he cried with a crufulous croak, "Once-ler, you're making such smorgalous smoke. My poor swami swans, why they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat." Oh my goodness, look at that poor bird. There's two of them there on the steps. They can't sing a note because of all the smog. "And so," said the Lorax, "please pardon my cough. They cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape the smog you've smogged up around here." Oh my goodness. There they go. All the birds are flying away. The trees are gone. The bears are gone. "What's more," snapped the Lorax, his dander was up, "let me say a few words about Gluppity Glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making Gluppity Glup, also Schluppity Schlup. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Once-ler man, you." Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's getting excited now. He's getting angry. "You're glumping up the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary." Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, that's so sad. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, "Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, And I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more tufula trees into thneeds, which everyone needs. Look at that. And from that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last trufula tree of them all. Uh-oh, look at all them stumps. Way off in the distance, way up there, way over there. Oh, that's sad. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, every one, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad smelly sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax and I. Bet he never thought that would happen. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad, sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years, while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. Now he feels terrible. There's the word unless. But now, says the Once-ler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Once-ler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds. And truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end. Sadly, he finally learned his lesson, and it was almost too late. But we know that one seed, one kind word, one kind thought can make all the difference. So we'll hope that the truffula trees will return, and the bears and the humming fish and the birds in the air will all come back. What a good story. What a good ending. There was a way out, a way to regrow the truffula trees. So with that, we are at the end of our series, 6 by Seuss. I hope that you enjoyed this book as much as I enjoyed reading it to you. And again, I hope that you will subscribe to my channel and like this video and click the notification bell so that you will be ready when the next 2 stories come out this week. And once again, we're going to read Love You Forever and Grandma Elephant's in Charge. So this is Grandma D saying that I hope wherever you are in the world, whether you're getting ready to go to bed or snuggled on the couch with your friend or getting up in the morning to go to school, and you're listening to Grandma D read to you, that you will know that I love you very much and I think about you all the time. So this is Grandma D sending you warm hugs and butterfly kisses. And if you would like to reach out to me, if you have a favorite book that you would love for me to read to you, you can reach out to me by email or you can write me a letter. And I would love to read your letter on my channel and tell other people about the books that you enjoy. So this is Grandma D signing off for today. Until next time, saying bye-bye for now.